Remember pen pals? Remember when people wrote with a pen and a paper and they put it in an envelope and they stuck a stamp on it? Stamps are, for those who don't know, stamps are those things that keep going up in price every year, like a penny or two, like every year. Now they're like 41 cents, and they keep going up so much that they start selling this thing called forever stamps. That's where that come from. And that way the forever stamps can be valid at whatever price, no matter how high they go. So anyway, yeah, remember pen pals when people actually wrote on a piece of paper, stuck in an envelope, put one of those things called stamps on them, put them in the mailbox, and it would take at least a couple of days for your message to get to whoever you were sending it to. Remember that? I guess I'm going to say more than a couple of days, because back in the day when you had a pen pal was somebody in another part of the country. So it was your way of being able to travel when you didn't travel, because you know, black families didn't travel outside of the entire country when I was young, you know, for vacation. You know, white people went on vacation to, you know, Venice, and they went to the, you know, everybody's going everywhere now, you know, with the internet craze, of course. But people didn't travel outside of the country. Not specifically black people. So people had pen pals where they wrote people in another country. And I don't even know how they handled the language issue, but I know there would be some central place that could translate between the two if you had a pen pal. And then it was interesting, I'm sure, for each other to learn how things were in each other's part of the world. Something. Pen pals. Remember the cameras? Remember the 35mm cameras? Do y'all remember those? 35mm cameras had cases for the film that you put the film in, and you had to put it in the camera and pull this carbon like strip out and tuck it in somewhere, and then when you took a picture you had to actually wind afterwards. kids don't know what that is. Oh my God, it's getting hot. Kids don't know what that is. Oh God. Oh, excuse me, y'all. People that know me probably be like, it was too early for sweaters anyway. Anything under 75 degrees and I'm freezing, so forget y'all. Y'all don't want me when I'm cold. You know how people, you know how a lot of brothers and sisters get irritable when it's all hot and sweaty and stuff? Well, you don't want me when I'm cold, because that's when I get all irritable. So yeah. Whew. Oh, and remember the 110, not just the 35mm. Remember the 110 camera? The 110 was longer than the 35mm. Was like the same size as our current cameras now, and like 35mm was this size but thicker, like 4 times thicker. But the 110 camera was about like this. It was long. It wasn't quite this long, maybe an inch shorter. And you take the picture, wind it. I'm not sure what the winding did, if that, you know, took it to the exposure or something, whatever. And then you actually had to go to the Photoshop to get them, I forgot what the word is now. Oh, you had to take them to the Photoshop to get them developed, is the word I'm looking for. Oh my God, I don't remember. remember that. Remember the fist mic and the air guitar? The fist mic and the air guitar. People got home karaoke sets now, but the fist mic, you sing like this, that's your mic. The fist mic. Everybody knows what the air guitar is. We still get down with the air guitar. Remember Bosom Buddies? That was Tom Hanks' days before he was hot. Dang, Bosom Buddies. Odd Couple, it was like back then a modern day Odd Couple. So it was him and his friends that were roommates, but they had to be roommates in this female dorm. It's coming back to me, but they had to be roommates in this female dorm. So I think the girls knew that they were men, but to fool the house mother, the resident mother, they had to dress as females. So they lived in a dorm as females. Yeah, it wasn't that amazing now that I look back on it, but it was hot for a minute to some people, I guess. I didn't really watch it, but I watched it enough to know what the premise was in it. Whatever. One thing kids don't remember is government cheese. Government cheese and the peppercorns and salami. Remember when salami had peppercorns in them, like real peppercorns? Like they were whole peppercorns, half at the tiniest. I mean, there was some other stuff sprinkled in there, but you could see where the peppercorn had been broken, and it was in salami. There's a lot of flavor. I feel like it was too much now, but I eat turkey salami now, which has a lot of flavor too. People don't sleep on turkey salami. It's good. Remember Chuck Willery on Love Connection? These are too big. Remember Chuck Willery on Love Connection? Love Connection. First internet dating. I never understood like televised dating stuff. Like where other people choose who you go on a date with. That was the birth of people not using their own intellect to choose who they want to embrace into their life. Oh, that wasn't the birth of it. Blind dates were. But at least with a blind date, people thought that they knew their friends and what their friends would like or something like that. But just these random strangers picking somebody that you ought to go out with, and you're going to do it just because they're paying. If you do that just because somebody else is paying, believe me, it's going to ultimately cost you. Remember when AOL used to flood the market with those free discs during the internet boom? There were free AOL installation discs all over the place. They were like sending them in the mail, free. But once you download that shit, you gotta get a connection to the internet, and you had to get it through them. So yeah, it was free, but they were everywhere. And every time it was AOL 1.0, 0.5, AOL 1. Whatever, AOL 1.7, AOL 1.9, AOL 2.1, AOL 3.0, AOL. They up to 10 point something, right? I don't know what people are up to, but they used to flood everything everywhere with those free AOL discs. They used to get on my nerves until we all soon learned that they were excellent, what do you call the cup saucer things? You know what I mean? So your glass doesn't stain your wood. I can't think of the word for anything right now. I wonder why.